All right, you are probably getting PCS orders in the next 12 months, and if you're anything like most military families, the clock has started ticking and you might be freaking out. You have to pick up your entire life and move to an entirely new place, and I want to share with you that the next 90 days is either going to be completely chaotic and expensive, or it can be calm and strategic and in a place where it helps you build wealth. The biggest difference between those two things has nothing to do with luck. It actually has to do with strategy, and I'm here to help you with that. Hi, my name is Dina, and I am a real estate strategist who works primarily with our country's military service members and their families. And today I'm breaking down the 90-day PCS relocation blueprint that you can follow. It's the exact strategy I use to help military families simplify their moves, protect their money, and start building wealth with every single duty assignment. And if you're moving this next year, or if you know someone who is, this video is going to help save you time, stress, and potentially thousands of dollars. I created Moving the Military because I believe that no matter where in the country you move, having one specific source of information makes the process easier. You know, I myself am a military spouse, and my husband and I have moved 4 to 5 separate PCSs in the last 8 or 9 years. So I fully understand what it's like to pick up your whole life and move it to somewhere unknown. And I hope my goal for Moving the Military is that this content helps you alleviate some stress and know someone that you trust that you can go to for help. I have an extensive network all around the country where I've personally vetted agents and lenders and, local community leaders, such that whenever you get orders, no matter where you're going, I can take the trust you have in me and transfer that to the person that I've personally vetted that can help you out. So I want to be your one-stop resource, no matter how long you're in the military or where you're moving. Now, my goal with this is also to take your PCS orders and turn it into what I would consider a powerful opportunity, not just to plug in and relocate in a stronger way, but to also help you build long-term financial wealth so that when you want to go get out of the service, you actually don't have to worry about much of anything. I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and quite frankly, probably closer to 1,000 military service members relocate across the country in the last decade. And I've also helped many of them, myself included, use the BAH that the military is giving them to build real wealth outside of their military service and not just use it to pay rent or to give to the housing office. So let's break it down. If you're receiving PCS orders this year, I want you to come back and mark this video. This is your playbook. The step-by-step, week-by-week for the first 90 days that you believe you are moving somewhere. So let's talk about the mindset you have to get into for this. Before we get tactical, I want to help you shift your mindset because this is where I think most families in the military go wrong. PCS is not just about getting to the next duty station. It's about arriving calm and in control. And it starts with understanding this one simple idea. Your PCS is not a reaction. It's a relocation strategy. It's actually a wealth strategy if you choose for it to be so. When you think like that, you stop playing defense and you start playing offense and leading through every single move. That means you're not just reacting to deadlines that you're given. You're actually creating a plan that builds wealth and reduces stress. So here's the number one rule. Every PCS move should take you closer to financial freedom, not farther away from it. Now, we'll get into what that means here in a little bit, but let's go through the first 90 days. Days 1 through 30, you're going to be preparing and positioning yourself. This is your foundation. Read your orders carefully if you have them. Know your report date, authorized entitlements for your travel, and temporary lodging details. Of course, you're going to research your next duty station. You're not just going to look at the base, but look at the community around it. Check commute times, school ratings, and local BAH rates. Now, here's where I can help. The next thing you really need to do, especially if you're going to rent off post or off base, or if you're going to buy a home, is you actually need to contact a local military relocation real estate agent, unless you're living on post housing. At that point, if you're living on post, what you're going to do is you're going to actually reach out to the housing office and get your name on the reserve list if you're allowed. Some duty stations don't allow it. Most of them do, though. Now, if you're not going to live on post or on base, you need to contact me or contact someone that you trust that's a local military relocation agent. I have a network, like I said, around the country where if you want to just come to me, I get nothing. I don't get paid for this. But I just really, really want people to start looking at this in a way that's helping them build financial wealth. And so I have a whole host of people in my network all around the country at every duty station that can help you have the same type of strategy and mentality in your next purchase. So reach out to me if you'd like to. This is where someone who understands timelines, VA loan entitlements, and the market conditions is really important. Please stop going with the agents you see in the social media groups. That's not the reason you should pick them. The popularity contest is not the reason you should choose an agent. Now, if you currently live in a property that you own, you may want to chat as well with someone about selling, renting, or holding that property based on whatever the financial strategy is that you have. And that's kind of what I do here. I want you to reach out to me, and we are going to create a strategy plan for you for the next however long you plan to be in the military. That way, when it's time to make these decisions, you're not making them last minute. Once you get that, we're going to look at doing an analysis on whether renting is better than selling. And of course, at that time, we'll talk about getting in contact with property managers. Now, the next thing you're going to do, the last part of the 30-day window, is you're going to start building somewhat of a budget to PCS, including moving expenses, temporary lodging, transporting your pets, storage. I know that a lot of times we get that money back, but we want to make sure we have it first in order to be able to pay for it and get it back later. And then, of course, you're going to declutter and document everything. Take photos of everything that you have so that if you have to make a claim later, you are able to, and you're able to substantiate your claim. Now, your goal for the first 30 days is complete clarity. You want to know your destination, your housing strategy, and your relocation budget. Now, let's move on to days 31 through 60. This is execution and transition stage. This is where really the work begins on all sides. If you're going to be moving and purchasing a home, at this point, you want to get pre-approved for your VA loan. If you're buying. If you're not buying, you want to start looking at rental properties and see what the timeframes are. Getting pre-approved is free, and it positions you for better timing when homes hit the market. Of course, we'll talk about that if you want to. I'd be happy to help you figure that out. Now you're going to schedule your pack out a little earlier because the best dates are going to go fast, especially if you're PCSing in the major window between like April or May and the end of August. Those dates get booked just like that. Now, if you're selling your current home, you're going to list it for sale when you're 60 days out. Picking an agent that actually can move your property is really important right now because if the market is not super hot, which it's not, and it hasn't been for a couple of years now, you're going to want to choose an agent that's really smart with marketing and positioning. And of course, I'm here to help you with that as well. Now, if you're renting, you're going to want to start looking at properties and maybe even finalizing a lease. That's going to depend on your time frame. Start previewing houses virtually at this point. Now, no matter who you choose, they need to be able to and willing to go show you homes virtually to get a feel for the area. And then, of course, you're going to set up temporary lodging, double check pet policies if you have a pet, and make sure that you start transferring utilities and updating your accounts if you're moving, especially anything that's on auto pay or anything that gets sent to your address. Now, last thing here, secure your moving documents in a PCS binder, whether that's digital or physical, it doesn't matter. The goal overall for this period of time is that everything is in motion. It's actually happening. Your financing, your housing, your moving, your logistics are all completely locked in. You want to make sure that you are not getting to the moments before you have to be somewhere and getting this part of the process started. Now, the last 30 days, so we're basically at the final home stretch. Now it's go time. We're doing final walkthroughs. We're doing inspections on no matter if you're renting or moving into a home you're purchasing. We're confirming closing or lease start dates. We're preparing your essentials box like medications, paperwork, chargers, uniforms. You know the one thing I've always forgotten, and I cannot figure out why I don't think about this now? The freaking shower curtain, okay? I have had to take so many showers with no shower curtain and towels on the floor because I forgot to get one and get it into my new house or bring it with me. So you're going to create a box of all of your essentials, anything that you can't afford to lose or anything you would be grumpy if you had to live without. Set up your forwarding addresses for mail and benefits. Make sure that happens for sure. Confirm your travel route and emergency plans. If you are PCSing during a really extreme time of year, like winter, make sure that you've got 2 separate routes that you've got, plans for, a primary and a secondary. especially if you're PCSing from the Northwest and you're coming to the Southeast. A lot of those roads get really snow heavy during the heart of winter and can actually close. Some of the interstates actually close through that route. So make sure you've got a couple of ways you can get here. Now, when you arrive, do a quick housing check, verify utilities, and take move-in photos if you're renting. Make sure that you document everything. Now, last thing, the goal for this last 90-day period is to actually arrive and be as calm as possible. At this point, your move should feel like you're confident in it because you've led it like a mission, okay? Now, let's talk about your lessons for the PCS, okay? Every PCS is going to teach us something, but only if we're paying attention. Here's what I've learned, helping almost 1,000 families at this point, is that your mindset about this is going to dictate your move. If you take time to prep and do the things we talked about and you're leading calmly, your family is going to follow. If you are running out the door like you do every day getting your kids to school, you're probably going to feel terrible about the fact that you just moved across the country. Preparation throughout this process is going to pay dividends down the road. This 90-day plan can save you so much stress and thousands of dollars. Because to be honest, if we're talking about real estate helps build roots, even in a transient lifestyle. So when you're owning a home or you're renting a home, no matter which you choose, planting roots in that community can come with lots of benefits. And every home, this is what we've done, okay? This is my own personal story. Every home that we have been in throughout our service time, and we're almost to retirement, so it's been a while, has become what we would consider a wealth vehicle for our future. We have never sold one. We own, I think, 7 properties at this point, and all of those represent a PCS move, and we've never sold one. We've just kept them all and kept them rented, and by the time my husband gets out of the military, we will have over $2 million of real estate assets. And I promise you, we're not doing that because I make millions of dollars a year. This was all very planned, and you can do it too. So I want you to stop seeing your move as a disruption and start seeing it as a direction, because every new duty station is a new opportunity to advance your wealth. Not necessarily it needs to be all of these stressful things. Now, if this video helped you at all, I've got something that will change the way you PCS completely, no matter what. I have a free PCS like a pro checklist if you want to download it. It's a step-by-step companion to today's video, and it's going to include a printable timeline that we just went over, PCS essentials list, and then a decision guide basically on whether you should buy a home or rent one. I'll put it in the comments below, and so if you want to grab that, and of course, if this helped you, please share this video with someone. And if you want personalized help with your next move, whether you're buying, selling, building wealth, renting, what have you, I want you to book a free PCS strategy session with me. Reach out to me, send me a DM, and I will get that on the books for you, because your next move should build your future, not necessarily break the bank. Okay, I hope you got something from this video. Share it, comment, like, subscribe for more videos and more information on making your PCSs super simple.